Okay, lunch break is over. I just used my lunch break to pick up some groceries, take a walk because it is another beautiful cloudless sunny day in Toronto. And then I also went over to my favorite working cafe next door. I did some editing and then I also got a coffee. My one ick in life in the winter is when I get a coffee somewhere and their lids suck or they're not on properly and I don't realize it. And then before you know it, I'm taking a sip and it's spilling all over my down jacket. One, I do not like the smell, of course, of like dried coffee or tea on my jackets. And two, it just makes me feel gross. But also, like down jackets are not easy to wash, right? I've heard the Super Puff you can wash, so I'm actually gonna try it this weekend myself. I bought like the wool balls for the dryer, but you do have to buy a special detergent. So it's just like a whole thing. Anyways, I feel so good after that little walk and getting fresh air and doing grocery and going to the cafe. I love living in the city because there are so many things you can just do to like take a walk and just get fresh air in the winter. Yeah, I have some more meetings to do and some more work tasks, and then I'm going to get some footage after for some YouTube shorts. And then we may or may not go to a Raptors game tonight, a last minute Raptors game. Another perk of living in the city is the last minute concerts and sports games that we can go to for really cheap because you can find last minute tickets. So wait, I love this. I wish I made it earlier in winter because it's so warm. But oh, okay. Now I want to make more colors. Oh, it's break time at work, which is really nice. Let's not look at the state of my couch. The dog is doing the most behind me. What are you looking for? Your ball? Ah, the joy of being a pet parent while working from home. Here it is. Here you go. I am working from the coffee table today because I just did laundry and my duvet is drying on our living room chairs. Every single time I have a break, I try not to scroll on my phone, and I'm finding that especially, you know, on my work from home days, when I'm in the flow of like work and productivity, nothing interrupts that more than brain rot scrolling on TikTok and stuff. My brain is already on and in productivity mode from work, so this is the time I use to really like dive into hobbies. Anytime I get a break from work, honestly, I'm doing something hobby related. So I either pick up this camera or I get in a journaling session or I plan out content for the month. Lately, as I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of crocheting, so this is what the last week and a half has looked like. I am making a blanket, so I'm this many squares in. I'm making a checkered blanket. The other color is gonna be blue. I love crocheting because honestly, I'm finding that I'm just scrolling because I need to do something with my hands. I'm such a fidgety person. Crocheting allows me to feel like I'm being productive because I'm working towards a goal, and also it gives me something to do with my hands. And I'm kind of, I'd say like junior level crocheting. I started a couple of years ago, but it's really only a winter hobby for me. But I'm pretty decent at it now, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. So we are staying in our hometown this weekend. because my husband has some work events, but we also have some social events with friends. So this is my Mono's luggage, which I love, by the way, the carry-on. I've had zero issues with it at the airport. They have never said that it's too big. I know a lot of my friends have the beige carry-on and they had so many issues with that, but a flight attendant actually told me that Mono's is one of the best carry-ons, and it's always like the legal carry-on size or whatever. So yeah, shout out Mono's. My husband and I both have one. He has the black one and I have the beige one. I'll link it below. This is what my weekend bag looks like for 2 nights, and it's kind of funny because there's barely any clothes in here. It's mostly just my hobbies and stuff. Sometimes I feel like my hobbies and stuff are kind of like a security blanket for me. I don't know, I love having all of my stuff and my hobbies with me. Okay, basic stuff like makeup and skincare, but I'm packing some yarn because I want to finish the blanket that I showed you guys. So I packed some crocheting stuff. And then on this side, I have my journals and my little content creation notebook. I have my book that I am slowly and surely getting through. I will share my thoughts on this book later, okay? My pencil case full of stuff. And then I always bring workout gear because some of my favorite studios are in my hometown. And then some clothes. Obviously, we have some clothes at our parents' house, so I don't need to pack too heavy with clothes. But yeah, that is my weekend bag. It's basically 90% hobbies, and then obviously I bring my laptop, my camera, my iPad in my backpack. I feel like weekends away are always, for me, some of the best time to catch up on my hobbies and really dive into my hobbies, because I'm not focused on laundry or cleaning the condo, or like, you know, the dog also has a yard. It's not as complicated to take him out or play with him all day because he's not cooped up inside here. So I just have a lot more time whenever I'm in the suburbs, and it just makes me so happy. And I guess there's also a nostalgic factor to it. Like, there's something so nice about being back home and doing nothing on a weekend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a weekend back home for a bit, and I literally want to do nothing but crochet and journal. I'm really liking reflecting lately, guys. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but maybe all of this off-screen time and all the intentional quiet time that I've had in January. If you missed it, I am trying to live my life without having like a YouTube video playing in the background or without falling asleep to the TV. I'm also just trying to do one task at a time and not feel the need to constantly have music or background noise playing, which I guess at the end of it has left me a lot of room to just be with my thoughts and reflect. And I'm a very introspective person, and I don't know, I really like it. I feel like it's moments in like peace and quiet when you're actually just with your thoughts, which I know can be very scary and anxiety inducing, especially in today's world. But like, I feel like that's part of life, you know? Like, those are the moments when you feel like the most in the quiet, when it's just you and your thoughts. That got deep for no reason. So good. We had a very successful morning at the thrift. It was great. We had a coffee. It was early morning. It wasn't busy. We spent an hour in there. A solid hour. That's probably the calmest it's been at the thrift store in a very long time. Found a lot of home good stuff. Got $11 broken in Doc Martens. Broken in is the key term there, because if you have a pair of Doc Martens, then you know the breaking in process. No, just absolutely not. I actually have a kid's pair of Doc Martens, but the technology and the material is just honestly terrible. I don't even know how kids wear those things. I just did not want to bite the bullet on a women's pair because they're so expensive. So I'm very glad I found those. Just lots of cute home stuff. So I'm excited to give you guys a haul, but I'm now at my original yoga studio where my entire yoga journey started when I was like 17. So it feels good to be back in the hometown at my original studio. I have an hour class, so I'm ready to sweat. And then the rest of the day, the only plans are I gotta clean my in-laws' house because, again, we're coming back here every other weekend to house sit. They're traveling right now, so I gotta clean the house for them. And then I have a head spa tonight with one of my besties and my sister, so I am so looking forward to that. Just like some good old girl time. It's also a beautiful Saturday out. Obviously, again, in a polar vortex, it's usually a clear day out, but let's get our yoga on. I think it's a perfect day for hot yoga, and I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. That was such a good class. I don't know if you guys can tell how red I am, but that practice room is also full sun. So on top of the heated panels, you get the heat from the sun, even during a polar vortex. So if you're in the Toronto area, Moto Yoga, which used to be called Moksha Yoga, but they rebranded, is by far my favorite yoga studio. The teachers are very uniform in their teaching styles, and I find that the teachers are very experienced there. Again, I've been doing yoga with them since I was like 16 years old, and I'm 30 now. I do think I'm qualified to make that statement. I do find with the rise of studios, both Pilates and yoga and bar and all that stuff, since the pandemic, I think it's a great thing that it's become so accessible, even to become a teacher and to become certified. With that being said, I do think there has been a huge decline in the quality of teachers you're getting. Unfortunately, I do think it's great that there are so many teachers now, but I am finding that it's harder to find really good teachers, especially as an experienced yogi. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find a good teacher now, but if you're looking for a really great yoga place to go to that has consistent teachers, that has experienced and very qualified teachers, then go to Moto Yoga. They have multiple locations all around Toronto. But anyways, I'm warming up the car, going home. I have lots of cleaning to do. I've got to make lunch, and then we're off to the head spa tonight. Can't wait. Okay, hi friends. It's now the next day and the head spa was amazing. I rate it a solid 9 out of 10. The only reason I rate it a 9 out of 10 is because for some reason my hair was extremely staticky after the treatment. My hair felt so soft and so clean and so smooth, but it was so staticky. So yeah, I don't know, like to me that just signifies there was a huge lack of moisture. Just really enjoyed some friend time and social time with my sister and my bestie Tristan. He was one of my bridesmaids for my wedding. I wanted to do a quick little update on where I am in terms of A Court of Mist and Fury. Yes, I'm very late to the series, I know, but this is the second book in the series, and everyone told me before I started that it was their favorite book in the series. And I'm about more than halfway through. I'm on page 372. There's around 600, I think, 40 pages. I'm finding it really boring. This one, I find that it's just kind of dragging on, but I do feel like that's intentional. I feel like you're learning a lot more about the characters. That's also another thing though, like I'm getting confused with all the characters' names because there's like twice as many characters in this book as the first one. So yeah, so far it's okay. I kind of went through a lull last week, but listening to this on audiobook has really sped it up. I've listened to maybe 10 chapters in the audiobook. Anytime I'm going to work, I'm listening to it, or when I'm crocheting, I'm listening to a few chapters. But for the most part, overall, I do enjoy the experience of actually physically reading the book. For me, it just does better for my imagination than listening. I'm not understanding why it's people's favorite as of yet, but maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. I'm never really the girl to care for it. Obviously, I like being treated out by my man, and if you have a special someone, I think you should treat them. And honestly, if you're single, treat yourself, girl, you know? But I don't know, I'm super into it this year. Maybe because it's our first Valentine's Day married, but I think it's mostly because I'm really feeling seasonal depression this year, as you guys know, and I just need a little something to look forward to. So I've been looking for like a romance book to read, but I'm kind of over like the fiction, steamy, you know, smut books right now. I'm kind of looking for something deeper, and one of my goals this year was to expand my reading genres. I ended up seeing one of my favorite Toronto influencers. Her name is Alicia Gogan, I believe. I will link her right here. But I love her podcast and I love her Instagram. But she posted this book today. I'll put it up here, and I'm really intrigued by it, and I got a really good review, so I think I may buy that this week. I'm not gonna give myself a break from this book, but sometimes when I'm getting bored of a book, sometimes I just need another book to be excited about to get me in the flow of reading again, and then that will allow me to pick up the book I'm bored of. Is that weird? I don't know if that's weird. But anyways, if any of you have read that book, let me know, because yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on it. But anyways, I think I'm gonna close out the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog this week. A little look into my hybrid work week life and what that looks like, balancing work and my hobbies and just my life in general. I would really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And I post a YouTube vlog every Wednesday, and I post shorts on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I hope to see you guys next week. I hope to see you guys in my shorts. Comment below if you made it to the end of the video. Comment a heart emoji if you made it to the end of the video. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good morning wherever you are in the world, and I will see you guys next week.